Alright guys, so one thing that I didn't talk about in my This Sucks series are emo kids. So let's go ahead and discuss these interesting specimens. If you haven't watched my videos, I always say in the beginning, I'm against all trends, scenes, fandoms, whatever. It's just, it comes and goes, and that's what trends do. They just come and go, and only fake people care about trends. It's just superficial bullshit. And with emo, it's just a trend. It's just another dumb trend full of mindless people, who attention whore and edgelord with their black clothing and, their, what else do they wear? Emo kids, with the parted hair kind of look, straightened out. I don't know, but emo kids, the funny thing about emo is the music doesn't really bother me that much. I know with some people they hate the music, but I grew up on punk rock, which is basically a bunch of screaming and crap like that, and really it's not that different from emo. But emo music, though, it's not as good as something like punk. You can tell it's just not a hard, not a lot of hard work is put into it. But yeah, with emo kids, I don't really understand them. Like they just I mean I do. It's not that hard to get, but at the same time, like I never would have acted like that as a kid. I think that these kids obviously, because they are kids most of the time. So they call themselves emo kids. When you become an adult, you just grow out of it, I guess, and you realize, oh my God, that was cringy. But these emo kids, I mean, obviously there's a psychology to it, like with all other stuff. I think that maybe their parents just didn't pay enough attention to them mostly. I think mostly it has to do with parents. It's funny how parents, and not good parenting can lead to all types of cringe. It's really quite fascinating. I think that leads to weeaboos, it leads to furries, it leads to emo kids, and it's really unfortunate. I know I'm cracking all these jokes and stuff, and shit like that. But like the sad truth is, I mean, some of them look like the kinds of kids that would probably kill themselves, and I'm sure that a number of them have, and that's nothing to joke about. There's nothing funny about suicide. It's a serious thing, and it happens more than a lot of you guys probably think. I don't know the exact statistics, but it, suicide goes on quite a lot. And as far as with kids, I think kids are actually the number one people who do it. I think minors are known to do that more than adults. So, it's really sad that a kid would cut their lives short like that. And so, like, I don't want to crack too many jokes on this one because it really is depressing. And I honestly do feel bad for these people. But at the same time, I mean, you got to be real. I mean, a lot of it is attention whoring. And that's why these people are doing it. It's because they want attention. In a way, I guess I don't really blame them. I mean, they probably just, want a friend or something. They just want people to notice them. And when I was growing up, not a lot of people noticed me, but that doesn't mean that I dressed in all black. Although I did have quite an interesting wardrobe, but I was really into funk music, which is kind of funny, and the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I wanted to be just like Anthony fucking Kiedis, man, and fucking Flea. So I would dress like they did back in the 80s and the early 90s, like with the fucking, I'd go to the thrift store and get like the most colorful clothes. And it's funny because I remember a person calling me emo one time, some jackass at a concert or something. He's like, "Here, look at that emo guy wearing those colors." I was like, what the hell? That doesn't even make sense. I'm emo for wearing colors. Emo kids wear black, you moron. So apparently, I guess some people thought I was emo for that, but anyways, yeah, kids are stupid and they don't, they say the dumbest things just to piss people off, I guess. But with the emo kids, again, like I feel sorry for them. Like with my weeaboo videos and my furry videos, I cracked a lot of jokes and I said this and that, and in this one it's hard to do that because like you really do feel sorry for these kids. I mean, obviously they have problems, and I'm pretty sure this scene is actually known for self-mutilation, which again, I can't really joke on that. I mean, I can't make a joke about something like that. It's just that's sad. And I see people sometimes making jokes about that, and I'm just like, wow, that's really messed up, man. That like you would joke about self-mutilation and stuff like that, or even make fun of someone for self-harming themselves. I mean, that's psychotic, man. That's like you have to be really vacant to do something like that. And I don't want to sound like I'm some kind of pussy or something, but that's just not something you do, man. Really, like some people, dude. I mean, YouTube is full of edge lords. YouTube is full of these little faggots who think that they're cool, saying stupid shit, in the comments. And I've seen some really brutal stuff towards emo people. And while I'll admit, I'm not a fan of the scene, I would never, never on my mother's grave would I ever make fun of someone and tease them about how they cut themselves, or even tell them to. That's disgusting. And some people, they have no shame at all. And to me, someone like that is probably the one that with issues, that would be the one end up cutting their wrist or something, because that's just plain messed up. But anyways, going back to emo, I don't really know what else to say except that it's this really bizarre trend, and hopefully it'll come to pass soon enough. Before emo, there was another scene called goth, and it wasn't that much better. I mean, the music kind of sucked. There was some good stuff. I remember listening to some kind of good goth music. I like bands like Korn, and they're kind of like, I guess, half goth, Korn, Static X, stuff like that. Nine Inch Nails, which I guess is more industrial, but I never really was a huge fan of goth, and I thought that was kind of lame too, quite honestly. I mean, I never really like hated on it that much, but it was just one of those things where I was like, I don't really care about this. But it is what it is. I think more people have respect for goth than emo, but the truth is, I mean, they're really not that different. Besides, one being a trend in like the 80s and early 90s, and the other one being a trend in, when did emo start? I guess like the late 90s, early 2000s. I'm not sure about the specifics, but I think like Jimmy Eat World was one of the first emo bands. I don't know how I know that, but I guess I was bored and I Wikipedia'd it. But I think it is anyway. I'm not really sure. But anyways, guys, that's my video. Guys, don't make fun of people who you think might be suicidal, or, or let me rephrase that. Don't, like, be careful what you say to certain people. And look, I understand poking some fun at a scene kid. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, playful teasing can really be an effective tool for change. I mean, it can make people at least, I guess, second guess themselves, and maybe, that cause a positive change. But there's a difference, guys, between doing that and being a bully. And when you say a bunch of fucked up shit to someone, the only cringe lord is really you for doing that. So remember that, guys. And be careful, because you could tell that to the wrong person, and your comment alone could be the reason why they kill themselves. So, and I know some of you probably wouldn't care, and that's really sad, but that is certainly something to think about. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.